The 7 levels of comics superpower. Level 1. Enhanced physical attributes. Let's kick things off with the foundation of superhero abilities. Enhanced physical attributes. We're talking about characters like Luke Cage, who has unbreakable skin and superhuman strength. He can punch through walls and shrug off bullets like mosquito bites, but put him against someone who can manipulate matter or warp reality, and those impenetrable abs aren't looking so impressive. Captain America is peak human perfection. Steve Rogers has enhanced strength, speed, and agility thanks to the super soldier serum. He can go toe-to-toe with opponents way above his weight class through skill and tactics, but he's still operating within physical parameters. He can't fly, shoot energy beams, or rewrite physics. Wolverine fits here too. His healing factor is essentially an enhancement of the body's natural healing cranked to 11. He can take more punishment than almost anyone, but he's still operating in the physical space. He can be contained, beaten, and he's definitely been killed before. The beauty of these powers is their reliability. They're always on and can't be nullified easily. But the limitation is obvious. You're still playing in the physical realm, just better than everyone else. Level 2. Elemental manipulation. Now we're cooking, literally. Elemental manipulation takes us beyond being physically superior and into controlling nature's fundamental forces. The Human Torch can generate flames hot enough to melt steel, fly by creating thermal updrafts, and go supernova if he pushes it. But his power has specific counters. Deprive him of oxygen or hit him with water, and suddenly the hotshot isn't so hot. Iceman is one of the most underutilized powerhouses in Marvel. Bobby Drake can lower temperatures to absolute zero, create ice constructs, and transform his body into ice. He's frozen entire lakes in seconds. When writers remember how powerful thermal manipulation is, Iceman becomes a legitimate threat. Storm controls weather, meaning she controls multiple elements simultaneously. Aurora can summon lightning that fries sentinels, create blizzards, and generate hurricane-force winds. She's an Omega-level mutant for good reason, but weather manipulation takes time and concentration. Electro shows the destructive potential here. Maxwell Dillon has blacked out entire cities and once became pure energy. But ground yourself properly, insulate against his attacks, and he becomes manageable. Elemental manipulation is incredibly showy and powerful, but it's predictable. These characters are forces of nature, but they're still bound by physics, even if they're bending those laws. They can reshape the battlefield, but they can't reshape reality itself. Level 3. Energy projection and absorption. Welcome to the realm where characters become living weapons. Energy projection moves at the speed of light and can't be dodged by just being fast. Cyclops is the textbook example. Scott Summers' optic blasts are pure concussive force that can punch through steel and obliterate sentinels. He's got fine control that lets him ricochet beams off surfaces. But he's a one-trick pony. Take away his vision and the battlefield equalizes. Bishop absorbs energy and redirects it as plasma blasts. The more you hit him with, the stronger he gets. It's a fantastic counter to other energy projectors, but there's a cap to his storage and purely physical attacks bypass his absorption entirely. Starfire represents the upper tier. Coriander absorbs ultraviolet radiation and converts it into devastating starbolts. She can fly at incredible speeds and has superhuman strength. She's a living star going supernova in focused bursts. Captain Atom is where energy manipulation approaches reality warping levels. He's essentially a living nuclear reactor who's destroyed planets and traveled through time. The problem? His power is dangerously unstable. Push him too far and he explodes with city-leveling force. Energy projection and absorption make characters walking natural disasters. They're channeling forces that reshape battlefields. But they're still projecting outward, still playing by certain rules. They haven't crossed into manipulating reality's fundamental fabric. Level 4. Telekinesis and telepathy. Now we're entering truly dangerous territory, mental powers. You can't punch a thought, and that's what makes this level terrifying. Jean Grey without the Phoenix Force is the perfect baseline. Her telepathy lets her read minds, create illusions, and possess bodies. Her telekinesis moves cars and holds buildings together. She can read your strategy while pelting you with debris and shutting down your motor functions. But telepathy has limitations. Psychic defenses and helmets can block her out. Professor Xavier is arguably Earth's most powerful telepath. Charles can locate any mutant on the planet using Cerebro, create illusions so real you'd swear they're happening, and shut down someone's mind with a thought. He's made entire armies forget what they were doing, but he's limited by his morality and physical vulnerability. Martian Manhunter might be the most overpowered at this level. Joan has telepathy rivaling Xavier's, telekinesis that moves mountains, shape-shifting, intangibility, super strength, flight, and Martian vision. He's like 5 superheroes rolled into one. His weakness to fire is psychological, which makes it exploitable. Emma Frost brings a brilliant balance. She's one of the most skilled telepaths alive, but can transform into organic diamond, making her immune to telepathy and invulnerable. She can fight mentally or physically, but never both simultaneously. Telekinesis and telepathy represent where powers become truly unfair. Physical strength doesn't matter if someone shuts your brain off. Speed is irrelevant if they see your intentions before you act. But they're not omnipotent. They still operate within the boundaries of what exists. They can't create or destroy at the fundamental level. Level 5, reality warping, limited. This is where things get existential. Reality warping means you're changing the fundamental rules. Level 3 characters can bend reality, but they can't break it entirely. Scarlet Witch at base level manipulates probability, making guns jam, structures collapse at the right moment, enemies trip over nothing. She's weaponizing Murphy's Law. At her mid-tier, she casts spells that create force fields and transmute materials. But her powers require concentration and are heavily influenced by her emotional state. When unstable, that's when you get House of M and No More Mutants. Franklin Richards, even as a child, is terrifying. He's created pocket universes, brought people back from the dead, and reshaped matter molecularly. He once created an entire universe in a blue ball. He made Galactus his herald. But he's limited by his understanding and control as a kid, and his parents keep him in check. Molecule Man in early incarnations could manipulate matter at the molecular level, effectively localized reality warping. Owen Reese could transmute elements and reshape entire environments. But his power initially didn't work on organic matter, required his wand to focus, and his self-doubt limited what he accomplished. Mr. MXYZ is a fifth-dimensional imp who can do virtually anything: turn Superman into a puppet, make buildings come alive, reverse time. But he's bound by his own rules. Trick him into saying his name backwards and he's banished for 90 days. Limited reality warping is where power becomes genuinely unfair. These characters change the rules mid-fight, but they're held back by personal limitations or constraints. They bend reality but can't snap it in half. Not casually, anyway. Level 6. Time and space manipulation. We've reached where characters manipulate the universe's fundamental structure itself. These powers break causality and make conventional combat almost meaningless. The Flash at his peak is absurdly powerful through his relationship with the Speed Force. Barry Allen doesn't just run fast, he vibrates through objects, travels through time, creates time remnants of himself, and steals kinetic energy. He's traveled to the end of time and literally run so fast he broke free from reality. But he's limited by human reaction time and perception. His time travel creates massive complications that often make things worse. Doctor Strange manipulates time primarily through the Eye of Agamotto, containing the Time Stone. Stephen has frozen time, created time loops, and looked into millions of possible futures. Combined with his space manipulation through portals and the mirror dimension, he controls the battlefield completely. But his magic requires preparation, gestures, and incantations that can be disrupted. Cable combines time travel with telepathy and telekinesis. Nathan Summers has technology from thousands of years ahead, knows historical events before they happen, and has the mental powers to back up his knowledge. He's beaten the Silver Surfer and held his own against the Hulk. But changing time has consequences he's smart enough to be cautious about. Nightcrawler might seem odd here, but Kurt Wagner's teleportation is space manipulation through the Brimstone dimension. He can dodge bullets by displacing microscopically and has appeared inside bank vaults and moving vehicles. His limitation is distance, about 2 miles maximum, and he needs to see or know where he's going. Time and space manipulation is almost unbeatable conventionally. How do you fight someone who can be anywhere instantly or has already seen your move? But they're still bound by consciousness and choice. They're manipulating the stage but are still actors on it. Level 7. Cosmic and omnipotent powers. We've arrived at the top. Powers so vast that wielding them makes you essentially a god. These aren't just reality warpers, these are entities that exist on a cosmic scale whose very existence rewrites the rules. The Phoenix Force is the nexus of all psionic energy across every timeline in the multiverse. When Jean Grey bonds with it, she becomes capable of destroying and recreating entire timelines. Dark Phoenix destroyed an entire star system and killed billions without breaking a sweat. The Phoenix has incinerated galaxies and rewritten reality on a multiversal scale. But it's also corrupting. It drives hosts insane and eventually consumes them. Ultimate power with an ultimate price. The Infinity Gauntlet grants complete control over six fundamental aspects of reality: space, time, reality, power, mind, and soul. Thanos with the Gauntlet became omnipotent, killing half of all life with a snap. He fought and defeated cosmic abstracts like eternity itself. The Gauntlet makes you god of your universe. But it only works in its home universe, requires all six stones, and using it can destroy the user's body. The anti-life equation is perhaps the most terrifying because it's not about destruction, it's domination. The equation is mathematical proof that life is meaningless and free will is an illusion. Anyone who hears it becomes a slave. Darkseid has spent millennia searching for it because it would give him complete control over every living mind in existence. When he's gotten fragments, he's enslaved entire worlds. Just words. Just math. Galactus isn't just powerful. He's a fundamental cosmic necessity. The devourer of worlds maintains cosmic balance by consuming planets. He wields the power cosmic, which is unlimited energy that manipulates matter, energy, time, and space on a universal scale. He's existed since before the current universe and will exist after it ends. His heralds, empowered with tiny fractions of his power, are cosmic-level threats on their own. The Spectre from DC is God's spirit of vengeance, making him essentially omnipotent with a specific purpose. He can rewrite reality, destroy souls, travel through time, and judge the guilty with absolute authority. Spectre has turned people into inanimate objects and erased them from existence. His limitation is his purpose. He delivers vengeance, not prevention. He's reactive, not proactive. The presence in DC and the one above all in Marvel are capital G God in their respective universes. They're omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent by definition. They created everything, know everything, and can do anything. When characters like Thanos gain omnipotence, these beings can simply say no and it stops. The limitation? They choose not to interfere. They create autonomous reality and let it play out. The thing about cosmic and omnipotent powers is they stop being about power at all. At this level, it becomes about philosophy, purpose, and choice. These beings could end any conflict with a thought, but don't. Either because they're bound by rules, limited by purpose, or choosing to let events unfold naturally. When you've got level 1 powers, you're not concerned with winning fights. You're deciding what world means. You're not battling for reality's fate. You are the fate of reality. And that's the 7 levels of comic superpowers, from enhanced humans who are just better at being physical, all the way up to cosmic entities that define what physical even means. From punching really hard to unmaking existence with a thought. Every level has its place. Every power has its purpose. From Luke Cage's unbreakable skin to the Presence's omnipotence, comic book powers aren't just about who wins in a fight. They're about exploring every possible answer to the question, what if you could?